We all have a favorite actor who'd be perfect as the next James Bond, and we're sure many of Hollywood's leading men are dying for the role. But Theo James isn't. He thinks he's too Greek. Well, for us, he ticks all the boxes. He's British, he's handsome, and of course, is an amazing actor. But it does take a little more than that to be Bond, right? Some say he's got what it takes. Well, the actor himself doesn't think so. He said so himself on live radio. The actor sat down with SiriusXM, and naturally, the topic of James Bond came up. Turns out, it's not something he enjoys talking about. Jess Cagle asked him why he thinks he was not right for the role, and brought up something he said before. You'll never believe what it was.
Talented guy.
My wife worked with him years ago.
Oh, what's
they
that?
know each other. It's called The Following.
Oh, yeah.
It's about serial killers.
It's that he thinks he's not British enough to play 007. That's right. Theo James may seem super British, but the actor doesn't see himself that way. In fact, he thinks he looks too Greek for the part. He didn't look too happy to be asked about it, but Cagle told him he was rooting for him. That makes two of us, Jess.
The way I say. No, this was felt about it and what we did with our characters. I think it kind of bridges, it satisfies.
He told Theo that he's probably the quintessential Brit he has ever seen. I'm sure a lot of us can agree. You don't even need to hear him speak to know. Not only that, but according to the host, he's got all that and the looks to back it up. Plus, he's been in action movies before, like Underworld Blood Wars. That's just one awesome movie on a list of more. But there's gotta be more, right?
To a deeper level on the second. Because obviously they're a couple in the second.
Why would any actor not be thrilled at the possibility of playing Bond? Well, James has his reasons. He thinks it's been done before. We all love a good franchise, that's for sure. Nothing screams this louder than the countless James Bonds history has seen.
It's tricky because you want to have the naivety and the learning capacity.
The thing is, franchises need to freshen things up constantly so that they have staying power. Otherwise, you'll be stuck watching the same regurgitated formula every year. No one wants to do that. No matter how iconic the characters and story may be, the White Lotus star seems to think of it the same way too.
Yeah, he's a very specific type of man, I guess, and I think they were looking...
Before you think he's not a big fan of 007, hold your horses. He made sure to clarify that he loves the entire concept of Bond. He loved Casino Royale and thought Sean Connery was absolutely killer. So now we know he's got a favorite, as we all do.
He is a very centered, masculine man without having to force anything. And as soon as I read even the page...
But then he followed up by telling Jess that everything has been done before. What needs to happen now is something new, something bold, something outstanding. He just doesn't think he fits the vision he has for the franchise, which is understandable. Any diehard fan would want the best for the story at the end of the day.
And then he kind of says, "Oh, I'm not sure," and she essentially says, "Fuck you."
While a lot of people want to see him in that stellar suit and tie, James isn't the only one who thinks it's time for something new. Don't you think it's about time we saw a female Bond? Endless possibilities. Plus, he's not the only star who has this opinion. Charlie Cox also itches for something different. The Daredevil star himself, y'all. In an interview with NME, he talked about whether he'd be interested in the role of 007. It's sad news for his fans, though, because he doesn't think he's right for the role either. Let's unpack that. He told NME the truth straight up. You can trust Theo James and Cox to tell it to you how they see it. To be honest, he feels like there are better candidates out there.
It's nice. Is snogging a kiss?
Yes, not
Oh, okay.
Not a British kiss.
Obviously, the actor has wanted to play a character in the same vein, but he ended up getting the same satisfaction with his role as Adam Lawrence in the TV show Treason. Not only that, but Daredevil hit the 007 spot for him too. The actor said that playing a superhero isn't so different from playing the MI6 secret agent after all. Right now is the best time to introduce a Bond man like we've never seen before. Both the actors seem to think so, and there are so many possibilities.
Feels that they're different. And in this society, that's perceived as dangerous because it's a way of controlling people.
Still, Theo James's fans are pretty bummed about his thoughts on 007. But wait, I've got some really good news for you guys that'll scratch that itch. James is the first choice to play George Michael in the upcoming biopic. He's such a well-seasoned actor, that's for sure. From slaying action roles to playing more nuanced ones like Cameron in The White Lotus, James is the man. What's a big career move for a Hollywood hotshot like him? Starring in a biopic, of course. Rami Malek did it with Bohemian Rhapsody, and it looks like Theo's time is near. Insiders have revealed that the 38-year-old is the first choice to play the Wham singer and pop icon in a big-budget movie about his life.
But then you have quite a broad breadth of cast, and you have a quite violent...
And this time, they won't censor anything. You heard me. The movie is described to show Michael's life, warts and all. It's gonna get into the nitty-gritty, all truth and no filter, which includes all the... That's what biopics are supposed to do, right? Portraying an accurate picture seems to be super important to the fan-favorite Brit.
How terrible the ultra-wealthy can be in these kind of very bespoke holiday.
A source said that his name is the first one everyone's saying. The film is reportedly in its final stages of development, and now the hunt for the leading man is on.
And people are being put on trial that work with Erudite and work with Janine's character.
The question on everyone's mind is, why him? Other than his stunning good looks, this is a bit of a surprise for a lot of folk. Well, turns out the actor and the late singer have something in common. They're both Greek. Sure, the two of them look alike. That's often the first requirement for something like this. You can thank their shared heritage for that. First of all, his actual name is Theodore Taptiklis, just like Michael, whose real name is Georgios Panayotou. He spoke about it on a talk show recently, saying that he'd totally be interested in playing the part.
But I don't know, post-COVID, I don't know whether in these situations, are you supposed to fist bump or snog each other?
Obviously, George is an icon. Theo acknowledged that and added that it'd be perfect because the two of them are Greek. Who would have thought? While there's a buzz around this rumor, there are some people who aren't taking it too well. You'll never believe who called this decision out. Adam Lambert blasted the casting on social media. Another unexpected turn. The famous singer is known for being out, proud, and bold as ever, so he took to Instagram to share his thoughts on the rumor. He was pretty salty about it, not gonna lie. The singer expressed his disinterest in it by posting a screenshot of the news article and captioning it with a sarcastic remark. Basically, he wasn't too happy about the fact that another gay icon is being played by a straight actor. We've all seen this before, with Rami Malek as Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. Not just that, but Taron Egerton also played Elton John in Rocket Man. You gotta admit, this is a real pattern. Shouldn't we have more queer representation in the media after all?
Idea to, introduce a whole plethora of new characters, and that's the idea behind it.
To top it off, he added the eye roll emoji. Well, that's crystal clear. What's more, Michael's own family has released a statement about the movie. Apparently, they don't have any say in it and don't endorse it in any way. They weren't consulted about it at all. Let's chew on that, shall we? Well, at the end of the day, it looks like Theo James isn't interested in playing James Bond, but is down to play George Michael in a rumored biopic. See you next time.